starting,
Oh, yeah, she's eligible. but she's-
yeah. We got lucky. I was scouring the internet and, I found that, I went to Giant Eagle, Rite Aid. I was going right down the line early on a Monday morning. And at CVS was my third try. It said punch in your zip code. I did, and they said the closest place that has it is, CVS in Leavittsburg. I knew exactly where it was. So I punched it in. He had all these time slots open. So I set it up for both shots right away for my wife and I. Then we called our friends.
How many units should I pull?
Two of them jumped on it right away. Two couples jumped on it right away, and they're all done now. Marilyn Thayer, a couple, they live across the street from Ben, procrastinated for a few hours or till the next day.
Yeah,
They had a heck of a time getting an appointment.
I bet.
They had to go to, they had to wait and go to the other one in Niles. But they're getting their second one next week.
Okay, I got 5:30 ready to go.
Ready to go.
Call the meeting to order. Are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? With none, can I have a motion to,
Didn't we have a couple?
Yeah, there is the revised, it just has ordinance 21-115 on it.
one in yellow?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Have a motion to approve the minutes from February 11th.
I'll make a motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All business, financial discussions.
How you doing? Good. All right, so you guys got the packet that I emailed out during the week. So last month, we'll go in order, but income tax, you can see we're slightly down compared to last year. If you remember, January was up quite a bit, and I think there was an extra week's pay in there. So we kind of equated out at this point. So we're at 552, 852, where a year ago we were at 554. So we're holding our own. On water and sewer, you can see we're actually up compared to last year, which is a good thing. So in our main three category, we're actually up about 3% compared to last year, so about $26,500. So on page 2, you can see our receipts in so far are about $1,309,000. So those are up compared to last year. The expenses, I don't know if you guys noticed, this pay claim was pretty low. There really wasn't too much that needed to be paid. So
300.
yeah, it was pretty low. So you can see between that and the lower expenses than a year ago, we're actually to the good already through February, about $263,000. So that's obviously an enormous improvement from a year ago. Again, there were some big things we already paid for project-wise that, now we haven't. So I'm sure this is short-lived. The first couple months of the year, really, you can't take too much away from it because there's pretty big variation and it can change numbers. But again, through February, that's very positive. So on page 3, income tax-wise, you can see we're down this month compared to the year before by about 81 grand. So that's about 29%. But we were up about the same amount when you look at the prior month. In January, we were up about 79,920. So the 2 months, when you average them out, we're pretty flat. So it's about 0.23%. And the reason I'm not overly concerned is you can see the payroll deposits with holdings were 331, 354 in January, and in February they were 145. That's the main difference. It's just a timing issue. So it's not like we lost $200,000 of net wages in the community, but the 2 months are pretty flat combined. So we're at about 552, 852. A year ago we were at 554. Surprisingly, business deposits I highlighted there are actually up compared to last year. We're at about 37,000. So I don't know what that means yet, except that I would assume some quarterly payments were made, I'm not going to take too much away from it. I'm a little surprised by that. I figured it would be down, but not necessarily the case. So that's where we're at so far.
When you look at direct business deposits, it's your February of 2020 compared to February 2021, that's like 4 times higher.
Say that one more time.
So February 2020, you have 8,264. In February 2021, you have 35,534. That's like a difference
Yeah.
of 400%.
I don't, like I said, it's unusual. I don't know what it means. So we're going to, either somebody had an extremely good year and they wanted to get taxes planned out of the way, or they know this coming year is going to be very good, so they paid a first quarter payment early. Could have been a fourth quarter estimate that was due in January that they paid in February. I'm not sure what the reason is, but, you know,
That's weird.
People I talk to, the profitability picture of their companies is tremendously improved.
yeah.
Margins have improved. Demand is there, margins have improved.
So we'll let it, you know, like I said, the first couple months, it's a little, but it's all positive issues to have, so. All right, page 3, which I think will kind of reflect why we see that wage differential. If you look here, this is just our story. You know, the past 2 years, 19 and 20, we'd already had 5 payrolls at this point. But because of the way the calendar fell this year, we're at 228 for payroll, where a year ago we were at 275. Again, that's just because we had 5 pay periods in these periods here, where this year we only have 4. And I think a lot of employers, because of the way the calendars, you know, fell, it's the same case. So that's why this will all equate out. Obviously, we're going to have a monster month comparatively, and it'll, you know, because we obviously know we did raises, so.
Hey, we're short. Is it a big pay or a small? I mean, there's big pay.
It would be
2 pays a month. One's small, one's big. One's
it'd be a
50 grand,
normal.
one's 80 grand.
It'd be the smaller one.
So it's probably pretty comparable to last year. It could be about a $50,000 payroll.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think we had full-time officers at this point, same number last year. So minus the raise that you guys gave, it's pretty much going to be, it should be pretty close to the same. All right, page 5, statement of cash, revenue, and expense. This is our statement of fund balances. So Jess and I, we got everything all wrapped up officially for the year. So we're going to go over that tonight too. Jess has that. So as you can see, we started the year just in January with total fund balances of $8,129,805, and already we have grown that to $8,393,415. But of course, notice, you know, we have $724,000 of encumbrances. If we paid all those today, we'd be down to $7,669,000. So, but again, these are all positive numbers. That's basically about it. The last sheet's the same sheet I always provide, just a reminder on the loans. But other than that, and then Jess wanted me to bring up, just in finance also tonight, we're going to be doing the final remaining transfer of funds for 2020. That's when we do the interest calculations to the different funds. We split up the interest and prorate it to different funds. So there's about $23,304.19 that we're going to be moving from different sources to the different accounts. So interest-wise. But other than that, that's the story.
Any questions for Nick? Okay, moving on to wage scale increases based off of income tax collections. So, over the past couple of weeks, the mayor and Caitlin and I and Nick have been meeting to discuss how to calculate or how to help us calculate wages for employees moving forward. And I think we've got some ideas that we've been kicking around. Nick's been very helpful, giving us some comparisons. I think we're going to have another meeting here shortly, are we not,
Yeah.
Mayor?
you know, Jess and I are working on that Excel spreadsheet to kind of put in those factors and show what it would have been over periods of time with some assumptions over the last 3 years, so.
We don't have anything at the moment ready to bring to council, but it should be noted that we have, I think, made some really good progress.
I do too. I think it's very, yeah,
I think it's a win-win.
yes.
We get it developed, it'll be a win-win, so. Good for the employees and good for the village, good for the residents.
And what Nick's going to give us is going to be a comparison of if we had implemented our ideas in the past, how would it have turned out, so that we can have a comparison, apples to apples, more or less. So we're moving ahead on that. Anybody have any questions on that? Okay, new business. Number 1, Resolution 21-04. A resolution declaring a public health crisis for the youth use of e-cigarettes and vaping products, declaring the month of May Youth Tobacco Prevention Month, and May 28th to be declared Youth Tobacco Use Prevention Day, and declaring an emergency.
So this was brought by the Lake Geauga Recovery Center. They emailed, reached out to Scott and had asked if the village would be willing to bring awareness to this. The representative will be at the council meeting tonight under public participation to answer any questions if anybody has any. But, yep.
And here's beer plugs.
I'm actually not going to do it that way because it's just one person. I have an idea because it's just one person and Jess. Like Jess is on there right now and you don't know, so.
Say something, Jess.
Oh, she's on mute. Oh, no, she's not on mute anymore. You can say something now, Jess. There.
Yeah, she's
Was
not
there
there.
is there something particular we're going to do on May 28th to bring awareness?
That would be up to you guys. I mean, we could like just put like something in the paper. We could just put something on our website.
I just kind of feel like it's maybe an empty gesture if we just pass it and don't do anything. We should do something of significance to bring.
Such as?
I don't know, Ben, I thought you would have an idea.
Say,
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's something we
you
could
put
come
on
up
our-
with.
You
I
can put
just
on
think
our
it's,
website the importance, you feel important enough to pass legislation in support of. We really want everyone, to raise their awareness, talk to your, whatever.
we put something on our sign.
It may not be done by then.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Maybe it is. If it is done by then we can because it's in May. But
Is this done in conjunction with the school?
It's in May.
it's in May.
That sign will be done by May.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it'll be done. Then we can put on the sign. I just don't want to make any promises when something's being built. This was contacted to us from the Lake Geauga Recovery Center, so it was not from the schools.
I read through most of that.
Yeah.
I just wondered if the schools were gonna be involved with it, though. I think Sam had the same
But
question.
shouldn't the
Should
schools be involved? I mean,
Maybe, we can ask the representative at council tonight too, if they are. I know some of the schools, in Ohio have signed that no tobacco pledge schools.
We've done that for years, the no tobacco pledge, but
It's not like 100%, it's very sparse and few between who signed it, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
do I have a motion to bring this to council?
so moved.
You're right, Sam, it should be in the school, because that's where it's gonna have the most
That's what's
impact.
going to have
Oh,
the
yeah.
impact.
I mean, I'm all for us making an effort here too, but I think the schools are the real impact on this to,
I just don't know what we can do. I mean,
yeah, I don't either.
Dylan's right, just,
Had like some sort of literature or maybe there's something that he could give us that they could pass out at the school or send out an email.
He's gonna be on tonight, right?
Yeah, yes.
So we can talk about how we can
I-
effectively support, other than the legislation.
I don't know how the businesses are, if they're treating the vapes the same as cigarettes with the youths, with the under 18 or 16. I'm just amazed how fast that vaping stuff took off myself. It just, it seems like it just went out of control.
We can take it to
was healthy.
council and they can discuss it
Very
council.
convenient.
I agree with you,
Alternative.
Sam.
Okay, number 2, ordinance 21 TAC 112. An ordinance establishing the 2021 permanent appropriations and declaring an emergency. To follow. Anything?
Any questions?
Do you have any questions? This is the 2021 budget,
Yeah,
is what this would be.
I looked at it. and, yeah.
I do too. I'm fine.
I mean, Jess and I meet Leslie, Ben, and then, Joe's there, and that's basically the main players of all the departments. We go through it line by line, move things around accordingly based on what people think they're gonna need or not need, and get it all organized, and then submit it to the county after you guys pass it.
Can I have a motion to bring to council?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, ordinance 21 TAC 113, an ordinance rezoning approximately 4.19 acres of land from GC General Commercial to RPUD Residential Plan Unit Development Zoning and declaring an emergency.
So this legislation is the first piece in rezoning the parcel for Briar Hill up on the corner here. It's not going to be passed, but just placed on first reading because there is going to be a public hearing at the next council meeting regarding this rezoning.
We have 30 days between now and the next council meeting?
Yes.
So it'll be on first reading, you said?
Yeah, yes.
So can I have a motion to take to council?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance 21 TAC 114, an ordinance amending existing section 1153.09 of the codified ordinances to authorize the planning commission to grant a special use permit authorizing certain senior residential uses in the RPUD zoning district and declaring an emergency.
So this legislation would create the parameters or the zoning for what can go on that space once it is rezoned. Is that good for you, Scott?
So, does it have to be an emergency?
Well, okay, so it's going to sit on first reading, just like the piece of legislation before, and will be included in the public hearing.
I see.
It's carrying the emergency clause, so that way when it is passed, it goes into direct effect instead of the.
Because one can't happen until the other one happens.
Correct.
Okay, I'll motion we take this forward.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 5, ordinance 21 TAC 115, an ordinance granting approval of the replat of sublot 1 of Cloverdale Estates subdivision and sublot 3 of Cloverdale Estates subdivision and declaring an emergency.
So this came out of planning on Tuesday. This is on Edgewood. It's currently a residential lot. They own 2 lots. And the second lot is an awkward shape. So what they would do is split it into what was presented in the exhibit in order to make 2 more buildable lots that would be more attractive for the 2 single-family homes. So the one home could have a single-family home built on it. The existing parcel would continue to have the single-family home that's there now.
Why is that called Cloverdale?
So the plat is called Cloverdale Estates. The road that goes through the village in that portion is called Edgewood.
Right, we renamed it because nobody could get pizza delivered. They said Cloverdale.
Right.
But-
So,
That's actually on Edgewood, though, not in on Cloverdale.
correct, because if it was in Cloverdale, it'd be in the township. So
Yeah,
it's on Edgewood.
yeah, okay,
It's,
thank you.
It's Jerry and Dave Watson's.
yeah.
Yeah, I know, I saw, read all that.
That's why, because that's the name of the plat that
Yeah.
these parcels are on.
Didn't realize the whole street was Cloverdale Estates.
Yeah.
Motion to take to council?
I make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Do we have a need for executive session?
We will have one in council tonight for potential litigation, but not for this. Not for this committee.
So while we're on finance, is any word on this new bill that just got passed? Have we heard of any money coming our way?
You talking about the COVID?
Yeah.
Did it get signed
1.9
yet?
trillion?
I signed
Yeah.
today.
Did they sign it today?
Signed today.
I haven't gotten anything sent down. Probably next week we'll start to see if the state is trickling down any of those to the local. I don't know, Nick, if you got anything, but I haven't gotten anything yet.
So I just saw a State of the Village by the Aurora mayor that, I think her name is Warmer, last name's Warmer. And it sounded like a replication of what we're talking about. They had a great year, their finances are solid, they've dedicated, I forget how many millions of dollars to capital improvements for this year. So, I mean, I think this Northeast Ohio area is fairly fortunate.
It is.
Overall. So this stimulus money is driving me crazy because I think it's,
But in some places,
I think in
it's pretty
some
bad.
places, yeah, like,
Real
I
bad.
say it's going to bite us at some point. You can't keep printing money at this rate.
no, I mean,
Can't
maybe the
keep handing us
parameters.
checks.
Parameters could probably be changed around a little bit more. but-
And is there any word on the Ways and Means Committee meeting from yesterday in the House about the tax?
But look, resident village income tax, I did not say that.
I looked it up, they don't have their minutes out for it. I looked it up in case somebody had asked, but they didn't have their minutes. It's still on the second step. Do I still have it up?
I don't know. I mean, I think, again, we're pretty fortunate there, too, though. I mean, we're a like, the workforce here, if I was Solon, I'd be worried. I mean, you got a lot of white-collar jobs or people working from home, but the factory workers, I mean, they had to be here. I mean, it's,
Well, the only problem I have is, Nick, when Kraft made moved their corporate, we took a heck of a hit.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Took 6 of those factory workers to make one of the
Yes, right.
upper echelon. And the people that are relocated and I'm hearing about are those caliber of people that are making a couple $100,000 a year.
Right.
That's, six lower grade employees
Yeah.
that you could lose. And
I just wonder how many, it'll be interesting to see if they, again, but I think we're going to, again, Middlefield be lucky that we're going to dodge a bullet on that for the most part, too.
I hope.
But I'll find out if they have another hearing. It was only the second hearing. So there's still a long way to go.
I think that's going to be a pretty hard one to get
There's
to pass.
The same person who introduced this bill is the same person who introduces it every year.
Right, right.
I think it just stuck a little bit more just because
Right.
of COVID this year, but
I don't see it happening. I just don't see it.
He's got 3 co-sponsors this time. He's got 3 co-sponsors.
I know, but if you kind of, I'll tell you later, my thoughts.
I don't think it'll go anywhere, but
I just don't
I
see
didn't
the
think COVID
3
would go
Cs
anywhere.
getting that through.
yeah, I don't either. So,
Seems to me. Anything else for tonight?
on my end.
Motion to adjourn? Second? Adjourned at 5:52.
We adjusted the clock for Scott. He threw a fit at P&Z the other night because he wanted to start early. And that clock said 7.